Live from Terry Connors Ice Rink in the Cove of Stamford, Connecticut. It's the nightcap of the doubleheader Darien hockey games tonight. January, cold temperatures outside. It's the Darien Blue Wave travel to Terry Connors, take on the Stamford Westhill Co-op. Hi everyone, Liam Tomaszewski joined alongside our resident hockey analyst Will Jennings, and live here from Terry Connors today. Will, Darien has come off a bunch of great wins over the weekend. They defeated the ultra powerhouse of New Canaan 4-3 in overtime, and then they had another home game against Xavier, defeated them by a hefty margin. So coming into this game after those two big wins, what do you think we're going to see here today?
Yeah, depending on the course of this game today, you are most likely going to see the third, fourth, and even the fifth line on the ice today for Darien. You know, this is another great opportunity, just like Xavier, to kind of get those young players going, really get their confidence up. And, you know, if you're Darien, you need those defense to get involved from the points. They don't look too comfortable with the puck right now, so it's going to be key for Darien to get involved from the points, get those defensemen moving along the blue line, get shots on net. And then for Westhill Stamford, I think it's, you know, this is a game that they're going to be very hungry for. They've played a lot of D3 competition, D2 competition, and, you know, this is their first big test of the season. So, you know, expect a, you know, back and forth, very physical game today, Liam.
Indeed it is. This Darien team has been nothing short of dominant. I mean, you look at all across those lines, but stars for this Darien team, senior captain number 7, Charlie Schwinn, has been all-around amazing player so far, goals all around, but then you look more recently at that game against New Canaan, none other than sophomore James Troy with the overtime goal winner. So this Darien team, they have a lot of depth throughout all of their lines. That's something that they've bred throughout the entirety of this season. So coming into Terry Connors today, definitely they're going to be going with all those lines.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more of Aiden Elders as well. He's been on a heater lately with goals in almost every single game this season. Aiden Elders has been all over the place. He netted 2 in the win against Xavier and multiple chances in that New Canaan game. He was all around the net, and you know, he's been finishing in tight with quick hands all season long, like I mentioned just the other day. And, you know, and another player that we don't mention a ton offensively, Elliot Lancaster, you know, his points might not be a huge total, but he's really been getting it done as a two-way forward this season.
Yeah, this game definitely a good prep for Darien. Of course, their next game after this one's going to be against perennial state powerhouse of the Notre Dame West Haven Green Knights on Saturday. So this game definitely going to be for Darien to try to get those different lines, see what works for them. Of course, going into a big game on Saturday. But as for Westhill Stamford, they're looking to pick up another win on the column. They only have one loss throughout the entirety of the year. Of course, they played teams a little bit less on the totem pole, if you would say, in ability-wise, but overall both these teams really strong. Darien, of course, the annual game against this Westhill Stamford team last year was at the Darien Ice House, this year at Terry Connors, but always going to be a very good one when it comes to high school boys hockey.
Yeah, you definitely cannot be caught off guard here if you're the Wave, because like you said, this Westhill Stamford team is a very capable team, even though they haven't had the strength of schedule that the Wave have had. You know, they're a very good team, a lot of great skaters, and a lot of guys that these Wave players have met in youth hockey before through the past couple of years. So definitely something to watch out for.
Yeah, indeed it is. So all these teams getting set. Of course, Blue Wave coming into this game, only one loss on the year. Their first game back up at Northwest Catholic. Since then, they've been on a winning streak, defeating some of the best teams around, Xavier, New Canaan, you name it. And then, of course, they take on Notre Dame West Haven on Saturday. So their schedule just shows it all around, the strength and ability that these teams are going to be bringing in this FCAC lineup. But this game going to be big for Darien, try to boost up their morale even more coming into Terry Connors. They have the ability. Let's see if Stamford Westhill can make those defensive stops when necessary.
Yeah, and one more side note, the senior Bennett Kramer is dressing tonight, so you know, this could foreshadow a bit of, you know, the Wave trying to get some of those players that don't touch the ice a lot involved, and definitely a great game to do so. So Bennett Kramer, only been playing hockey for 2 years. He could be in between the pipes tonight. Really something you like to see.
Yeah, Bennett Kramer adding to that Darien seniority. Third-string goaltender for the Blue Wave, but back here, Terry Connors. Let's hear starting lineups for both of these two squads. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem, always from Terry Connors, but here in those starting lineups for Darien Blue Wave going into that third and fourth line. I mean, looking at it, John Wadley, Ryan Thurlow, McNamara out there as well for Darien. So going into those depths, and of course our head coach Mac Budd, he has the names all throughout those different lines. So for this game, he's starting out with those deeper lines, see what they can do today.
Yeah, I really think that just shows you the confidence that Mac Budd has in his players. You know, you're starting out with that third line, but, you know, they've been good all season too. I mean, especially recently, that third line in the Xavier game, Dylan Weibel was, you know, setting up Gardner Ely multiple times in that high slot area for chances. You know, it's the confidence that Mac Budd has in his players to rotate them, even in important games like this one where momentum could be on either side very quickly.
Yeah, so both these teams getting set here in those starting lineups. Stamford and Westhill getting set, their home rink of Terry Connors over on the Cove of Stamford, not too far from Darien, so not much of a road trip for the men in blue. But for today, as always, anything is possible in high school hockey. But for this Darien team, they're feeling confident. And starting in net for Darien Blue Wave, none other. #1 senior Finley Hegarty has split some time all year with another senior captain, Quinn Creppen, but this game Hegarty will start behind the pipes for Darien.
Yeah, and one thing before the puck drop, Ryan Thurlow was moved up to the third line, one of the fourth liners, so something to just look out for during this game.
So getting set near Gardner Ely. First puck drop for the Blue Wave. 15 minutes starting off in this one, live from Terry Connors. Face-off won by Stamford and Westhill. Again, Darien in their away blue jersey, Stamford Westhill in their home white. A little physicality starting off, puck in the Darien defensive zone starting off. Blue Wave skating along heavy with Dylan Weibel, of course, on that line. Darien getting set, shot already up. #6, Ryan Thurlow going way above the net, but puck staying with the Darien favor. Fight for that one, Stamford Westhill. Darien trying to keep the puck in their offensive territory. So that puck will be handed over to the defensive likes, #20, Connor McNamara. Darien making a quick line shift. Only about 50 seconds into this game. Puck over on the defensive side, Darien in the neutral zone. Moving that puck around. Getting set, puck over by Stamford Westhill goal side. Now over to the near sidelines. Puck handled over by Persinger. Puck over there, Stamford Westhill trying to get a shot on it. A little physicality over by the front of the net, but huge stop up by Finley Hegarty.
Yeah, and if Stamford Westhill wants a chance to be in this game today, they really do have to contain this line on the ice right now, featuring Jack Mariska and Charlie Schwind. Those guys have been unstoppable this year, you know, combining for the majority of goals and points on this team. So keeping them to the outside will be key for Stamford Westhill.
Yeah, so Stamford Westhill winning that face-off. They're going to look for it. Puck in the neutral zone. Darien on the heavy set. Picked up on the defense by Persinger. Now Charlie Schwing getting a little look at it, one-on-one with the goalie. Backhand shot, that one's going to be saved by goaltender, #32, Nathan Margarum. And that puck will go out of play, but again, we've seen it all year. #7, Charlie Schwinn went on the one-on-one right there, tried to go to backhand side, but that one will be saved by Margarum. But again, that offensive likes are something that we like to see from the Blue Wave.
Yeah, I mean, they try and connect on the breakout with Schwind or Mariska very often because you see they both have a ton of speed. So those long jailbreak passes are something you have to watch out for if you're Stamford Westhill, because Schwind and Mariska will be hanging on the far blue line all day long.
So Darien on the heavy face-off. Stamford Westhill behind their net. Playing on that physicality side is the Blue Wave. And over for Queen Kilroy out there. Backhand pass dump in from Tim Davis. Heavy on the set. Darien looking for it. Slap shot on the ground. That one's going to go off the pads of Margarum. That was Quinn Kilroy with the shot. Darien once again out with Davis. Backhand off the boards. Darien staying with the possession. Heavy hit there against Russell Lancaster. So that puck will go all the way down to the end of the sides. Darien picking it up where they left off, the far side of the ice.
Yeah, Stamford Westhill just has to set up an offense right now. They're doing a lot of puck chasing. You know, Darien's forced them to retreat into their zone for the majority of this period, so they need to establish a forecheck.
So again, Stamford Westhill trying to stop this Darien team. Darien looking dominant so far, bringing out the defensive sides. And when Connor McNamara, that line back out. Stamford Westhill getting a little nice look, 2-on-1. Pad saved by Hegarty. Once again, Stamford Westhill looking for a spot, but Hegarty moving his momentum all the way around that net for a huge stop up. Net will move in the process.
Yeah, that's something you got to highlight if you're Coach Mac Budd. You know, those odd man rushes can get you in the end because Finley Hegarty lets out a very big rebound there. He's not able to control that puck, and that leads to two second chance opportunities for Stamford Westhill, and that's really something that he's got to focus on this game.
So Stamford face-off won by the Blue Wave, staying the puck in their defensive side. Big hit over on the far side back into the neutral zone. Darien cruising along. Elliot Lancaster with the puck. Stop up by Stamford. Getting close to the net. Trying to look for a little readout. Ground ball off the skate of the defenseman. Once again, Darien playing heavy physical hockey over there. James Troy. Puck really close to that net. And that's going to be another big stop there front by Margram, the senior goaltender.
Yeah, you like to see Darien getting Connor McNamara involved from the point there. He's able to get a shot on net, which leads to Aiden Elder cycling there. You know, Darien has always done a very good job of cycling the puck, so just getting those defensemen involved will, you know, really kind of influence that cycle and make it even better.
So puck on the Darien defensive side, Persinger will get with it. That puck's going to go all the way to the other side, so an icing coming up. But again, these are the types of opportunities that Stanford's going to have to utilize with the icings, different offside calls. But right here is going to be a big face-off win coming up for Stamford Westhill. So Samame at center for the Blue Wave. Face-off won by Stanford, shot on the ground. Darien regaining that possession. Number 11, Russell Tarrant. Jack Mariska fighting for it, along with number 15, Daniel Gamble. Saved up by Tarrant, slap shot. That one's going just to the left of the net. Mariska looking for a call going on the ground.
Yeah, they're going to call that. Mariska was tangled up in front with one of the Stamford Westhill defensemen as it looked like a cross-check, kind of trying to screen the goalie there.
So delayed penalty coming up. Referees will call that one going against Stamford Westhill. It looks like none other number 21, Maxim Zlikman, will be going to the penalty box. So Darien will get the first power play of this game. 10 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in this first period of play.
And that's really what Schwinn and Mariska do best, you know, drawing penalties with their speed. They're so hard to chase around the zone, going back and forth with that cycle like I talked about. That, you know, that just gives them an early advantage here on the power play.
So Darien trying to look to put something up with the 5-on-4 advantage. Stamford Westhill going to make a nice clear. That one going to be saved up over behind the net by Connor Kilroy. Out in front, Stamford Westhill looking for an opportunity. Using his body on that one was Charlie Schwind. Darien once again with the puck going into the neutral zone. That one dumped in there by Lancaster. Darien looking for it down front with Mariska. Once again tripped up. Schwinn sending the puck around the boards. Christopher Berlingo, sophomore defenseman for Stamford Westhill, trying to get this Darien out of there, and referee's going to blow the whistle on that one.
You know, Stamford Westhill not really playing your conventional style of penalty kill, but it's, you know, it's more of an aggressive style, and it's really working for them right now. Instead of taking away those passing lanes, they're really going after the pucks in the corners, getting those ices off because it's a man advantage, so it's a valid play to kill time, and you know, Darien hasn't been able to set up an offense yet because of it.
So face-off chip there off the glove of Hegarty. Darien will be setting up on the defensive side. Pass over to Troy. Troy heavy skating over on the right side. Looking for a center up, trying to find his man Gavin Samame. Can't do so throughout the middle. Troy once again over. Persinger, slap shot saved there from Margaram. Back over to Troy on the right side. Out to Tarrant. Tarrant on the slap shot off the skate of Anthony Corelli.
Yeah, Tarrant didn't get all of that puck there. It looked like a bit of a muffin off his stick.
So Darien again once again set. Troy over the middle. Hit hard in front. Stamford Westhill trying to make a clear, but Darien holding on strong. Jack Mariska with possession. Mariska out in front. Stamford Westhill making a clear, forcing Darien to chew off the last couple seconds of this power play. Skating along the board, Schwind. Moving along downtown to center. Trying to center it up there for Elders. That shot going left of the net. Back to even strength coming in, 5-on-5 shot from Samame. Saved their little goalie collision. We have some little physicality in front of the net by Lancaster.
Yeah, it looked like Elders was, kind of cross-checked in the back there. He fell over the goalie, but, when you're in that crease area, you're going to pay for scoring goals there. Defensemen aren't going to let you, mess with their goalie in front, so you kind of expect that here.
So Darien will get face-off in the Stamford Westhill zone. Back to even strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Seen a lot of physicality from both of these teams. Darien getting some shots on, but Stamford Westhill defense showing off a lot.
Yeah, Stamford Westhill on that, penalty kill right there. They did a great job of making Darien force passes. Darien was able to enter the zone cleanly, but just setting up an offense there, they really disrupted the passing lanes and took away all options.
Lancaster with control of the puck. Back out to the defensive side. That one's going to go in from the blue line. Number 16, Connor Kilroy, putting the goal on for the Blue Wave as they lead 1-0 early on in the first.
Yeah, that looked like a double screen in front. Kilroy just walks that puck along the blue line a little bit. That shot was not tipped, just flat on the ice there. And, he uses that kind of bounce off of the boards there to walk that blue line and fire it to where the goalie isn't able to see it because they have two forwards stacking the crease.
So a goal there from number 16, Connor Kilroy. Brings up Darien's first lead, 1-0 in this one to Terry Connors. So again, once again, Darien getting set. Stamford Westhill just trying to make it clear, but this Darien defense all over the puck. Once again on the side, looks like off the pad of one of the Stamford Westhill attackers. Lancaster circling around, puck dipped up. And the referee's going to call an offsides on that one. So saw the early goal on from Darien. They go up 1-0, but this Stamford Westhill team, they definitely have to have a good grip on Darien if they don't want to give up more goals just like that one.
Yeah, it looks like Darien's just a little bit faster here from the get-go. Darien definitely hasn't slowed down since that win over New Canaan, that win over Xavier. So, it definitely looks like they're riding that momentum right now. And, hopefully they can continue this momentum as they're up 1-0.
So Darien just trying to control the puck on the defensive side. Once again, Schwinn makes some acrobatic moves, moving across, shot just above the net.
Yeah, that was a windmill deke right there. He did an in and out on his defenseman. Almost had him, lose his footing right there.
Schwinn acting like the atomic flea all over out in the ice, being everywhere all at once. As that puck going all the way back towards Finley Haggerty in the Darien defensive side. Puck stopped up by Mariska. Mariska being stopped up. Stamford Westhill with a little look at on the offense. Trying to get a shot center on. That one's going to be stopped up by the Darien D. Trip up there from Mariska. No call from the referee. So Darien will make a nice needed line change. Heavy on the hit. Stamford Westhill can't seem to get the shots on. Darien defense chipping that one out. That one off the stick. Thomas Eriks getting out there on that Darien 4th, 5th line, but Darien now getting set once again on the attack in the neutral zone.
Yeah, I'm noticing these Stamford Westhill defensemen really have to watch their gap control. They have to gap up with the forwards. They're giving way too much space right now.
The Darien defense trying to stop that one up. Russell Tarrant making some nice stops, forcing the Stamford Westhill team to go back out to that point. Shot there just going left of Hegarty. Stamford Westhill with a little look on the attack, back over to Eriks. Eric set up no call from the referee on the trip. That Darien line, Gardner Ely passing it over to Tarrant on the defensive side. Just over 5 minutes left to go in this first period. You're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Liam Tomaszewski, Will Jennings, so that I can be here to watch this FCAC clash live from Terry Connor's ice rink. Stamford Westhill setting up, trying to get a center pass out. Darien D once again there.
You know, you usually never see Lancaster, Timmy Davis, T-Bone Eriks, Whitacombe out there early. So, you know, that's a sign that Coach Bud, you know, feeling confident in his team right now and the way they're playing in this game.
Center out there looking for it. Shot on the ground. That one was number 27, Michael Niffen. Niffen just poking that one over by the Stamford Westhill side. Referees blow the whistle on that one, stopping up the puck possession.
Yeah, if Stamford Westhill wants to get back in this one right now, they have to be way more aggressive at the points. They are not pinching on the puck at the points. They're not keeping it in the zone. You know, holding the blue line is kind of costing them right now. So you need to see some more aggressive play in that offensive zone. So
face-off won by Stamford Westhill. That one going off the pad of McNamara. Darien once again in the neutral zone fighting for that puck. Stamford Westhill a little weak pass, but sticking with the puck. Gonna dump that one in. So referees blow the whistle. Looks like offside or broken stick out on the ice. So Stamford Westhill wins the face-off, intercepted by Jack Mariska. Mariska looking for the puck on set. Tarrant over in the neutral zone. Dumps that one in, intercepted, blocked by Stamford. Mariska just gonna dump that one in. Puck going behind the likes of Finley Hegarty. Referees blow the whistle on that one, stopping up the play.
Yeah, that Schwind, Mariska, and Gavin Samame line doing a great job in the neutral zone of creating turnovers, you know, getting their sticks in passing lanes. You know, it led to a Schwind breakaway earlier and almost another one right there with Jack Mariska. So, you know, really just using their speed here early to kind of get all over this Stamford Westhill defense.
So nearing set, Stamford Westhill winning that face-off. Just putting that over on the board side. Once again, Stamford Westhill just needing to climb back from this heavy Darien offensive attack. Puck stopped up, looks like a loose face guard or neck guard out on the ice. Stamford Westhill looked at 2-on-2 with the Darien D, but making some moves out on that one. A little trip up, but recovered by Persinger. Puck back over to Persinger on the near side, just dumping that one in. Shot there, that one's gonna go right into the pads of the goaltender, Nathan Marjoram, and good shot there from Darien, but just couldn't seem to get it. When taking a look at that replay, number 25, Tim Davis, trying to get a shot on it, but that was gonna be saved up right by Marjoram.
Yeah, and that odd man rush there was just created by a great breakout from Darien. You know, you see that chip up the boards by Timmy Davis to beat his defenseman. That's something that Stamford Westhill has got to start doing, you know, connecting on tape-to-tape passes in their defensive zone.
So puck going back on the Darien side, looking over to the left. That one's number 3, Dylan Weibel. Puck dumped in behind the net. Weibel once again. Short pass out for the center, trying to get a shot on it was Thurlow.
Yeah, that looked like a set play there. You know, a Weibel, Thurlow give and go from the corner. They do that a lot on this third line, so.
So puck going back out. One-on-one here with Thurlow. Thurlow's shot, that one gonna be saved. Possession going back into the Stamford side. Yeah, referees blow the whistle. Just over a minute left to go in this first period of play. Darien leading Westhill and Stamford by 1. Of course, we're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. You see right there on the replay the shot from Thurlow, pad saved by Margaram, but Blue Wave will have another face-off in the Stamford Westhill zone.
You know, Stamford Westhill right now, like I mentioned earlier, they're just feeding the points, just not connecting on passes on the breakout, and you know, it's either been an ice or a shot from the defenseman on Darien, or, you know, just a regroup for the defense. That's really all it's been this period. It's been very one-sided in possession. It
was a snipe there from Elliot Lancaster on the face-off win, but another face-off one in favor of Darien. Shot there, batted down by Margaram. That was a shot from Connor McNamara. Darien once again an offensive set, back out to the point. McNamara centering it up. Darien with the loose puck out in front. Darien will have to reset going back on the defense. Loose puck over. Stamford Westhill looking for it. Just going on the side, intercepted by the Blue Wave. And there's going to be a delayed penalty coming up against the Blue Wave.
You know, and that's something that you see, you know, Lancaster sometimes just loses his cool, and, you know, he's known for retaliating, and he'll definitely get a word from Coach Mac Budd, but, you know, I think it's just the energy he plays with the game with. He's a very competitive player, so.
So Elliot Lancaster, 2 minutes in the penalty box with 8 seconds left to go in the first period, so that remainder of the minute, 52 seconds on the power play will roll over into the second period, but for right now, Stamford Westhill, probably the biggest opportunity they've had so far in this game to try to put the equalizer on the scoreboard. So face-off won by the men in blue. Stamford Westhill just trying to get maybe a quick shot on it. Darien's just going to hold it on the boards with Schwind, as that will bring us to the conclusion of the first period of play. So the Blue Wave go up 1-0. A lot of shots from Darien, and I think the Stamford Westhill team, they've really held them to only just 1 goal throughout that first period of play. So going into the locker room, what do you think Stamford Westhill is going to be talking about?
Yeah, for Stamford Westhill, it's just, you know, they got to handle the puck better in their defensive zone. They do not look confident handling the puck. They look scared, you know, on that forecheck from the Wave. They look scared to handle it and, you know, make plays up ice, because that's something, you know, if you're looking at the Wave on offense, they're connecting on passes on the breakout constantly. They're making plays for each other on the bump passes. Stamford Westhill, you know, they're kind of shying away from hits, you know, rimming that puck around the boards. It's really costing them right now because they can't organize any offense if they're not working as a team.
Yeah, so 1-0 your score in favor of Darien. We'll be right back for the start of second period coming up on the DAF Media Network.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
And we are back here live on the DAF Media Network. 1 period done, 2 remaining. You're live from Terry Connors Ice Rink. Darien Blue Wave leading the Stamford Westhill Co-op 1-0. And Will, coming out of that period break, Stamford Westhill, their defense was strong, only giving up 1 goal to the Blue Wave early on from the blue line slap shot from sophomore Connor Kilroy. But since then, it's been a pretty even strength game. What do you think we're going to see here early on in the second period of play?
You know, I think their play in the first period is really a testament to their goaltending. You know, the defense really were leaving them out to dry there that period. You know, probably 10 very good scoring chances for the Wave. And, you know, this period I think we're going to see, you know, probably Stamford Westhill is probably going to look to create more of a forecheck and connect on more passes and, you know, hopefully set up an offense this period.
So still on the power play, Stamford Westhill for another minute and about 40 seconds of play as that puck goes out of play from James Troy. So face-off coming up. Face-off won by Stamford. Going to try to look for it again on the power play chance. 5-on-4. Huge opportunity for Stamford to try to strike back on the scoreboard. Getting a little loose end is Stamford, trying to get past Hegarty. Trying to puck that one out. That one's going to go in. The equalizer for Stamford. Number 22, Anthony Corelli, the senior forward, puts it in, and we are tied at 1 apiece.
You know, Corelli is arguably their best player, but, you know, that's just George Persinger fumbling the puck on a pinch there, something you cannot do on a 50-50 puck at the point. You know, he pinches instead of playing that red line and really gapping up with his player. He pinches, tries to go to keep that puck in the zone, and it leads to basically a breakaway, you know, leaving Finley Hegarty out to dry there.
So 1-1 the score. Goal there from Corelli puts Darien in a little bit of a tougher spot than they were in the first period. So back to even strength at 5-on-5, but Darien knows they need to put another score on the board.
You know, and you do not see Persinger make those mistakes a lot. He's a very smart defenseman, stay-at-home defenseman usually, but he gets a little trigger happy there and, you know, leads to the 1-1 tied game.
So puck looking up for Kilroy. Darien on the side, shot there from Schwind over by the blue line. And Stamford Westhill keeping control of the puck from behind the net.
You know, and I think that goal is a bit of a wake-up call for this Darien team. They looked like they were getting a little bit too comfortable, only with a 1-0 lead. So you're definitely going to see Mac Budd start to get those first and second line players going again and, you know, maybe shorten the bench here.
So again, Stamford Westhill getting set in a neutral zone, looking for an open spot. Pass there, just missing the likes of the attack. Darien getting set with Mariska. One-timer shot there from Schwinn. That one's going to be stopped up by Margarum. And, you know, Schwinn, he's hit those shots all year from that side, but definitely a good player to watch for the Blue Wave.
You know, and this goalie for Stamford Westhill right now, number 32, Nate Margarum, has really been standing on his head this game. You know, his defensemen have been, you know, leaving him out to dry in that slot area and, you know, haven't really helped him on those screens in front. So he's really been doing the dirty work in this defensive zone.
So Darien getting set over behind the Stamford Westhill net. Looking forward, Stamford Westhill on a little bit of break, 3-on-1. Trying to get set there, Corelli out by the front of the net. Backhand just stopped up by Ely. So line change coming for the Blue Wave. That line of Elders coming out there for Darien. Aiden Elders with the puck, stopped up by Zalikman. As the referees blow the whistle on that one, pause the play. But again, this Stamford Westhill team keeping Darien on their toes. A 1-1 game, of course. Tied, always going to be a close one. But see if Stamford Westhill try to win some more face-offs and move that puck along well.
You know, Stamford Westhill is definitely outmatched on paper, but, you know, you see how hard this team works. You know, they get into the gritty areas of the ice. You know, they're in the corners constantly trying to win puck battles, and it's just those hard-working teams with high motors that can really catch you off guard. So we'll see what happens.
So Taryn over on the defensive side, pass over to Persinger. Persinger's shot going off the foot. That one was number 11, Daniel Ganofi. The referees blow another whistle on that one, stopping up play Lancaster in frustration. Elliot Lancaster going back to the penalty box, adding another power play to the Stamford Westhill side as they look to try to take the lead in this one from Terry Connors.
Yeah, that's not a good look for Darien right now. You know, one of your best players, Captain Elliot Lancaster, second time in the box already. He's on, you know, penalty watch at this point, as 4 penalties would disqualify him from this contest. You know, you don't want to get in trouble with one of your best players early.
So Mariska, the speedy Mariska going over, looking for Schwind. Schwind on the one-timer, saved by Margaram.
Another great save. I mean, Mariska's selling shot that entire way, and Schwind at the last second gets that one-timer. It's just a great post-to-post save there.
So puck dumped in by Stamford. On the power play, looking for another look. Schwind fighting for that puck over by the Stamford Westhill bench. Stamford in complete control over on their defensive side. Puck dumped in over near Hegarty. Stopped up by Tarrant. Tarrant on the push. Looking for Schwind. Schwind stopping up, trying to get a backwards pass over to Tarrant. Tarrant just missing that one, so Stamford Westhill regain that possession.
You know, and if Stamford Westhill is able to win this period and possibly the game, you know, you really got to give that game puck to their goalie right now, because he's just been all over the crease recently. He's been making dynamic saves left and right.
So puck stopped up there by Elders, dumping it all the way. So a nice penalty kill from Darien. Still 35 seconds left on the power play for Stamford. We'll try to look for something here. So Stamford looking for it over on the near side. Hustling along, number 15, Daniel Gamble. Mariska fighting for that puck along with Persinger.
You know, the roles have kind of reversed this period. It seemed like Darien was all over them the first period in terms of effort and energy, and Stamford Westhill has come out here firing this period. You know, they're all over the place on the forecheck, back check, really everywhere. They're just outplaying the Wave purely through effort.
So Mariska fighting for that puck over on the far side, throws his stick. Darien maybe getting tripped up. Lancaster, no call.
Yeah, that's a trip right there.
So penalty coming up. That one's going to be a power play going for Darien. Take a look at the replay. Lancaster tripped up. Referees put his hands up for the penalty. So Darien will get a power play look, try to put a goal up, go up 2-1.
Yeah, number 23 there. Jake Frateroli, you know, he was trying to play the puck there on a poke check, and it got tangled up. His stick got tangled up in Elliott's skate, so another man advantage, you know, maybe to get momentum in the Waves' hands here.
So Frateroli going to the penalty box, Darien on the power play. Schwind nestling that nicely over to Connor Kilroy. Kilroy back over to Schwind. Hustling along the ice, looking for Elders, dumping it in. That will be called an icing, so going to the opposite side of the ice. But Darien, this is definitely, you're in the hot seat right now. Big spot coming up with the power play, trying to go up 2-1 against a Stamford team who's been really heavy on the defense, but so far it's worked out really well for them.
Yeah, Darien has been successful on the power play all season. They run an umbrella setup on the power play with 1 defenseman and 4 forwards, 4 of their best forwards. Connor Kilroy, the defenseman, is the quarterback of this power play up top at the point, and you know, you'll see a bunch of different looks here.
So Schwind with the stick up. Saucer pass there. That's going to be saved into the pads of Nathan Marjoram, but Again, right there, Schwind from the blue line. He's been hitting those shots all year. Probably the biggest offensive player this Wave team has seen this season. Taking a look at, and a huge pad save in the butterfly position for Margaram.
You know, you'd like for Darien to settle that possession a little bit. It looked like Schwind kind of forced that shot on net. He rushed the possession a little bit there. But you know, you kind of want to get an extra pass in there, maybe a skip pass to get a better look in tight.
So the Blue Wave once again, Mariska fighting for that puck over on the far side. Stamford Westhill just trying to make a nice clear. Minute left, minute down on the power play for the Blue Wave. Mariska fighting forward on the right side, centering it up for Schwind. That one going to be tripped up. Stamford Westhill back with the puck.
Yeah, miscommunication there from Lancaster and Schwind.
Stamford trying to get an open shot there, deflected off the skate of Connor Kilroy. Back over to Schwind on the far Darien side. Getting close by Schwind. Back over to Samame. Samame going down. Big hit there on the far side. Trying to get a shot on it was Troy, stopped up by Stamford's defense.
You know, the Wave are just not communicating right now. That's another mix-up with Lancaster and Persinger there. So it's really the team effort on both sides. You know, Stamford Westhill really, you know, communicating well with each other, and it's been an all-out team effort this period from Stamford Westhill.
So Persinger dumping that one in, back to even strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Margaram setting it up for Stamford behind the net. Dumping that one in is Persinger. Pass on the ground, stopped up by the skates of the Stamford defenders. And Stamford getting a little look 2-on-2 here. Deacon out, Tarrant. Shot there, glove saved on the left side by Hegarty. Stopping up a huge Stamford opportunity. That was a shot there by number 21, Maxim Zalikman, the junior forward. Taking a look at that replay. Huge glove save by Hegarty. There's a lot of net open on that left side, so keeping Darien alive in that one.
You know, and that's just George Persinger, another error at the blue line. His head is down. He's not looking up at his options. He's not walking the blue line. He's standing still and just fires a shot into the passing lane. You know, just not something you normally see from such a smart player on defense.
So once again looking set, Darien. Stamford Westhill getting tripped up. Heavy physical hit over on the far side. No call from the referee. Stamford may be looking for something on that one. Setting it back up for Weibel. Wadley on the defense, giving it over.
You know, this soft play from the Wave right now, just fanning on passes, you know, not getting that puck deep, holding the blue line. It's really going to cost them because Stamford Westhill is, you know, really executing on these mistakes that the Wave are making.
So back over, number 22, Anthony Corelli. Corelli back out. Mariska in trouble over on the far side, dumping that one in. Possession staying with Stamford. Darien not trying to find these open lanes. Stamford keeping the puck strong. Corelli back out, intercepted by Schwind on the 2-on-2. Schwind and Mariska. Tipped up just to the wide right of the net. Mariska trying to regain back that possession. Center pass out by Mariska, just off the stick of Gardner Ely. That one just mixed centered over to Schwind. Schwind on some nice moves, looking for an open spot. Referee's going to call an offsides on that one over on the blue line side, Michael Niffen. But again, this Stamford Westhill team, they've done really well stopping Darien from just making any shots on the boards. And this Darien defense getting worn out a little bit from the heavy attack from Stamford.
Yeah, and if any X-Factor players can turn the tides here, it's going to be Mariska and Schwind. You know, they look like they're still, you know, they still have their head on a swivel here. They're still going all out effort-wise. So
So Weibel out there. Looking over for Thurlow. Again, that third, fourth line still out there for Darien. Persinger hustling for it. Big hit. No call from the referee.
Yeah, he just slipped in that corner there. I think he lost his edge. So they're going to lay off the whistle there.
So Tarrant on the defense. Backhand pass over to Ely. Ely getting laid out on the hit. Shot there, save from Mergerim. That's going to be loose.
I think the goalie pushed the net off there, Liam. That should be a, a man-up advantage for Darien. You definitely can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking a look at the replay, not sure. It looked like Darien thinks that something might have happened. It looked like the goalie definitely pushed
it
that
off.
one.
That should have been a man advantage for the Wave there, or even a goal, because it looks like that puck was in the back of the net, and if you're a goalie, you're not allowed to push that net off for time. That would go for some sort of unsportsmanlike or delay of game penalty.
So nothing there from the referees. Playing on is Darien. Quick press out on the faceoff win. Dumping that one in is Wadley. Back on the point, Stamford. Wadley keeping the puck alive for Darien in the offensive pursuit. Wadley dumping that one in. Handing it over to Lancaster. Lancaster to Troy. Troy centering it out. Shot there from McNamara. Saved up by Wadley off the stick. Number 11, Daniel Ginolfi.
Another blind shot there from McNamara. These forwards are starting to get in the shot lanes, and, they're creating a ton of turnovers.
Big hit there from Aiden Elders after the shot saved by Margarum. As Stamford Westhill gets another look at it, but stopped up by Connor McNamara. This game getting very physical from both of these sides, especially on the defensive side. You're seeing it. Trying to do a one-timer there was number 22 for Westhill. Anthony Corelli, broken stick there. Bad luck, but in that one, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in period number 2. You're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture team, the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Me and Tom Mazewski, Will Jennings here live from Terry Connors Ice Rink over on the Cove of Stamford. Beautiful night here. A lot of chilly temperatures outside, but in here in the ice house, always a good one.
Yeah, definitely chilly in here too. It feels like it's 15 degrees. I'm almost shivering at this point.
So Mariska on the face-off for the Blue Wave, won by Stamford. They're going to take control of the puck, but Mariska trying to get a shot on it, blocked up by the Stamford D. Picked up there by Niffen. Niffen there on the play, circling over for Schwinn on the heavy attack. Referees blow the whistle. There's going to be some contact called. Let's see who it's against.
Yeah, it looked like they're going to call a boarding penalty. I believe Schwinn turned at the last second, but he was hit in the back of the numbers, so the Wave will go up on the man advantage. Really good heads-up play from Schwinn there to notice the defenseman was on him, and he turns to draw that penalty.
So number 15, Daniel Gamble, the senior defenseman, going to the penalty box for 2 minutes. One-timer shot there from Mariska, hard going off top right post. We've seen the Mariska-Schwinn connection all day. Say the two Bash brothers for this Darien team.
Definitely, and their play hasn't dipped this period. That line is the really only line of Darien players right now that haven't dipped in play yet. So definitely going to need some chances.
So Darien getting tripped up. Number 16, Connor Kilroy. That one's going to go in. Shot there, number 20, Ian Dugan, the junior forward. You can hear it from the stands. Electric atmosphere as Stamford Westhill goes up against Darien 2-1.
That's another soft play in the defensive zone. You're on a power play, not able to connect on passes, whiffing on a pass there, slipping in the corner even, just leads to, it leaves Finley Hegarty out to dry there. And, Stamford Westhill is starting to capitalize on these opportunities, these mistakes from the Wave. they're up on a power play. They're not able to break the puck out or even ice it, and it just leaves Stamford Westhill a great opportunity to tie the game.
You can see Schwinn there tried to intercept it, but was just a little bit too late on it, and right there, number 20, Ian Dugan, put it in. I mean, you heard the electric atmosphere, the New York Rangers goal horn coming from Terry Connor's Ice House as they go up 2-1 against a very strong and powerful Darien team.
Yeah, and if coach hasn't already shortened the bench is going to be shortened for Darien. This is not how they expected the second period to go. You know, and coming into the game, Stamford Westhill was huge underdogs, and now they're looking like they could run away with this one, Liam.
Yeah, so Stamford up 2-1, an exciting game it is. Just over a minute and 30 seconds left to go in period number 2. Darien trying to put an equalizer on it. Schwind out to Mariska, whiffs on that one just a little bit high above the ice.
Feels like we need to see these two out on the ice almost every shift. I mean, they're the only ones creating offense right now.
Shot there from Persinger, just going left, maybe trying to get another look at it. George Persinger handed it back out to Schwind. Schwind and Mariska still well out there. Schwind over on the far side of the net.
Michigan! Michigan from Schwind! Oh my goodness! Highlight goal of the year. Schwind does a Michigan coming around the net, wrap around top shelf. That was insane. Lacrosse goal from Charlie Schwind.
Now, as a play-by-play announcer, I didn't even see that coming. You saw it first, but for that one,
I had to jump in
Charlie
there.
Schwind, the acrobatic leap, an amazing goal for Darien, tying it up just after Stamford Westhill celebrates their goal just a minute earlier. I mean, what was that?
That was just insane. I heard some talk in school today that Schwind would try the Michigan in this game, and he pulls it off. You know, that is just the kind of player Charlie Schwind is. He is here for the dramatic. You know, he's going to make those very kind of eye-popping plays, and he does there. That's probably the goal of the year if we haven't seen one yet.
Well, that's going to be the #1 on SportsCenter's Top 10 tomorrow morning, but as we go, the face-off won by Stamford Westhill, but Darien sticking with it. Final minute of the second period. Definitely momentum on the Darien side, but Stamford Westhill cruising along.
Yeah, definitely was not trying to steal your play-by-play there, but I just, you know, had to speak up because that was crazy.
Shot there saved by Hegarty. That was number 23, Jake Frateroli, but Will, you called that one. I didn't even see that. I mean, he put his stick up and just sauced that one right into the net. I mean, just an amazing goal from Schwind and tied this game at 2, making it really interesting. Of course, live here from Terry Connor's ice rink.
You know, that's what they're calling the Michigan nowadays. Trevor Zegras on the Anaheim Ducks in the NHL, you know, frequently uses that move to score on goalies. So Charlie Schwind, no shortage of talent on this Wave team.
So 35 seconds left to go. Stamford just off the pad of Hegarty. Schwind still out there again, the atomic flea all over the place, centering that one up, trying to find trying to find Gavin Samame, but that one referee's blowing the whistle. 20 seconds left to go in period number 2.
And Liam, I mean, I'm still shocked by that goal, but, you know, moving on, another great rush up the ice from Schwind as he gets the outside. You know, they try and keep him to the outside. He uses his speed going wide and drives that net. It's almost like he does something every shift that we're just...
Yeah, that kind of goal from Charlie Schwind, nothing you really see from high school hockey, let alone college hockey. That's a professional hockey move right there, but less than 10 seconds left to go in period number 2. That one's going to go out of play. Samame getting tripped up on the board, so Darien kept it alive. They went down, but less than a minute, Schwind put the tying goal on, so 2-2 your score. So see with Darien, that's going to definitely put some energy in the locker room going into this third period of play.
Yeah, and we've been saying it all period, Liam. You know, if Darien needs a spark, they're going to put Jack Mariska and Schwind out there, and it pays off. You know, they've been playing almost every other shift, and you see why.
So dumped in there, so we're hit the end of period number 2. 2-2 your score. It's going to be one exciting third period coming up from Terry Connor's ice rink. We're going to step aside. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
And back here live on the DAF Media Network. Very exciting second period. 2 goals from Stamford, 1 from Darien, but the amazing goal from the acrobat himself, number 7, Charlie Schwind. The Michigan goal, as you call it, but again, 2-2 your score, so either team's going to need a goal to take home the win, but both these teams looking to take home a huge W adding on to their season.
You know, and not to kind of, you know, go on about that goal, but that goal took the noise out of the crowd. It really took the sails out of this crowd, so the momentum has shifted, and, you know, we're going to see how that plays out this period as Darien really, you know, their players seem more motivated to come out here and work. You know, the second period, they looked really lazy, a lot of, you know, missed passes, a lot of slips in the corners, and, you know, Darien, you know, that goal just hyped this team up as they're banging on the bench ready to go here.
Banging their sticks on the boards. I mean, of course, you did say that this Stamford, they scored, they were up 2-1. There was energy throughout Terry Connors, and then Schwind kind of silenced them a little bit with that goal, but nevertheless started the third period here on the DAF Media Network. Darien getting set up. 14:48 left to go in this intense game.
Yeah, that's a penalty. He just clotheslined Elders, and that's not good. That looks like Elders could be injured to his back probably.
So Aiden Elders getting a little caught up there, and penalty coming our way, but we're going to step aside, take a quick break. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. So back here live on the DAF Media Network. 14:43 left to go in this third period of play.
So they will skate 5-on-5, you know, kind of like a matching situation. 2 different penalties, and they're just going to call them both off. So even strength for both teams.
So offset penalties, Stamford and Darien, but both these teams getting set well underway. Schwind over on the backside of Hegarty. Slap shot going way above the net. Huge shot there from Stamford. Darien's cruising along. Samame getting hit ups on the boards. Schwind fighting for that puck. Backhand pass out to McNamara. Again, fighting that one off Samame. Looking over there with Mariska. Stamford out back at the point, moving that puck along the boards.
You know, this is really one of Stamford Westhill's sustained possessions throughout the entire game. You know, they've had a ton of odd man rush situations, as we have one this way.
Mariska giving it over to Schwind. Schwind looking for the backhand, and that one's going to go in. Charlie Schwind, his second goal of the night, puts Darien up 3-2 early on in the third.
And I mean, Mariska and Schwind just really taking this game to a different level. Are they calling off that goal there?
So it looks like the referees might be calling that goal off. Not sure what the intent of that is.
Yeah, it looked clean. The goalie was hugging the post, and that, puck slid through his 5-hole, or, just right past him. But
so it looks like the goal will stand for the Blue Wave. Charlie Schwinn getting credit for the goal, assisted by Jack Mariska. So that goal will stand. So Darien with a nice early lead, 3-2 early in the third.
And, as we noted earlier, Stamford Westhill had to contain those two players coming into the game. And so far, as you're seeing, Wave's response is just firing on all cylinders, especially from those two players.
So Stamford Westhill dumping it in. Darien chasing it over with Michael Niffen. Niffen over on the board. Stamford Westhill trying to get an open look out in the front. Right near Hegarty. Missed shot there. Stamford Westhill had an opportunity to put that one on. That was number 20 for them, Ian Dugan, who has a goal in this game for Stamford. Persinger handing that one over. Giving over to Lancaster. Tarrant fighting for it. Pass over there from Ely. Ely over to Tarrant. Back over to the point with Persinger. Shot there from Tarrant all the way at the blue lines, going behind the net. They're trying to fight for it off the stick of Stamford.
Yeah, it's a high stick there, so they're just going to get an offensive face-off. But, you're seeing Darien starting to get back to their cycle, starting to get their points involved, and really doing the things that they were doing in the first period, which worked so well for them. So, really getting back to their style of play, and I think it's credit to the, line of Jack Mariska and Charlie Schwinn just getting them back on course here. Everyone's, really sticking to their tasks in the offensive zone and getting it done this period. So
referee's talking some things over. Darien wins faceoff, trying to get a shot on his Weibel, but gets blocked up by Stamford. Trying to create some opportunities is McNamara, saved by Stamford over in the front, trying to get a shot. That puck's going to soar all the way to the other side. So Stamford going to get a look at all the way from their own defensive side. Big pass out there. That one's going to be called an icing. Hegarty will call off the attack, but so Darien with an icing. They are up 1 goal, so not sure if head coach Mac Budd's going to be going back to those lines, but those, like third and fourth string lines, those lower lines, but we'll see what Darien looks like. Mariska and Schwinn are still going to be out there, so Darien's still going full press with just under 12 minutes left to go in this game.
We're seeing almost a, duplicate period here from the first period, as Stamford Westhill is consistently icing the puck and not connecting on breakout passes, and Darien is just overwhelming them with a 1-2-2 forecheck here. So really, if you're the Wave and Coach Bud, you like to see what's going on right now.
So puck staying with Samame, big hit. Schwinn back out to the point, Kilroy. Kilroy broken stick. Russell Tarrant back out on the defensive side. Close up, Stamford Westhill saving that one. Getting that one near and dear, but Schwinn and Mariska intercepting it. Mariska, Schwinn, Tarrant on the 3-on-2. Mariska center pass out, going off the skate of the Westhill defenseman.
Yeah, it's been the play and transition all day long for the Wave. That's really, elevated them above their opponent, Stamford Westhill, today. This game has been played in transition almost the entire way through for both teams. All of the goals coming off odd man rushes. So
again, big looks for this Blue Wave team. They're up 3-2. Still plenty of time left for Stamford Westhill. Maybe try to get another look at it. Of course, we're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Live here from Terry Connors, Liam Tomaszewski, and Will Jennings. So Darien wins faceoff, keeps the puck in their zone. Dumped in by George Persinger. Over on the boards is Stamford. Hit up by Troy. Troy fighting for that one, trying to make some nice moves, stopped up by the defense. As that puck's going to go all the way, looking over for Hegarty. So Persinger going the opposite way. Stamford Westhill with a little look at the puck, a little whiff over on the blue line. Thurlow hit hard over on the Darien bench side. Stamford with the 2-on-2, trying to make some moves, stopped up by Tarrant.
Just not a lot going on for either team right now. You know, it's kind of a game of just give and take right now. You know, the puck, no really sustained possessions. It's just a lot of dumps with failed forechecks.
So moving that puck along, Weibel. Centering it up, shot, glove save. Huge routine glove save by goaltender Margaram. It almost looked like George Persinger thought that one was in the net, but a huge ground glove save there, and another beautiful slap shot by the Darien defenseman.
Yeah, I love the response from George Persinger there. You know, 2 errors in this game, 2 goals against him, but, you know, he's still creating offense. He's still jumping into the play as the trailer man there. And, you know, that's what he's been doing all season. It's really a great way for him to respond here in this game as he almost scores there on the, you know, 3-on-2. So.
So puck going close to the Darien side. Facing that one off. Puck staying in their offensive zone. McNamara dumping it in for Mariska. Mariska shot close. That one going to be going off the right post. As Stamford Westhill gets a nice 3-on-2 look. Stopped up there by the Darien defense. Samame over there trying to break it loose. Schwind over on the forecheck. Giving it over to Wadley. Schwind again, ground ball shot. That one's going to be stopped up by one of the Stamford defensemen. Schwind had another clean shot on that. It might have looked like maybe going more towards the net, but blocked up by 1 or even 2 Stamford defensemen.
Yeah, that was a great job by Schwind to, you know, use space and get himself into the middle with what looked like a backhand toe drag there. You know, he creates space for himself and then uses the defenseman as a screen. And, you know, that redirect, kind of a change-up shot, almost goes through the 5-hole.
So again, getting close, Stamford and Westhill. Shot there, that one just searing. Very close shot there from James Troy. Once again, that puck gonna go out of play.
You know, and the Wave are getting back to what they've done all season. Those shots from the perimeter, you know, taking a lot more shots from the perimeter this period and letting their forwards crash down towards the net. You know, they were trying to work the slot and the cycle, and now they're just trying to get pucks on net, and it's really starting to pay off for them as a lot of these second chance opportunities are very close for them.
So Gardner Ely on the face-off coming up for the Wave. Face-off won by Darien. Ground ball shot there from Kilroy. Going back on the ground, Ely looking for Weibel. Trying to poke that one in is Darien. Goalie out of play. A wide open net for Darien. That one just going behind.
Timmy Davis almost banked that in off the defenseman on a wraparound there. So we have a player down.
And that goal will definitely go loose. A huge scrum in front of the net. Davis trying to get all over there. That goal went loose. Goalie out of the box. But a huge turn of events for Darien, trying to get another goal in this game.
Yeah, heads-up play by Timmy Davis there to notice that the play was not blown dead. So, you know, he picks up his feet around the net, tries to get a quick wraparound, which almost pays off for him. Seems like the Wave, you know, are starting to become aware that, you know, this is only a 3-2 game, so they definitely need to put this one away.
A quick shot there from Lancaster right off the face-off. Face-off won by the Blue Wave, and sword on the ground, but that one will be saved up by Stamford. Another face-off coming up for senior captain Elliot Lancaster. Face-off won by Stamford. Darien trying to poke it free. Lancaster. Shot blocked up by Stamford. So Stamford still hanging around in this one. That one's going to be brought up to the back. Number 27, Michael Niffen. Hit hard there, Lancaster. Yeah, moving along the boards. Stamford back in the neutral zone, just dumping that puck in. Niffen with control, passing it on over to Kilroy. Kilroy with the dump. Lancaster trying to fight for it over on the right board. And again, the speedy George Persinger on the defense, looking for that puck, trying to create an open lane for himself. Dumps that one over to the side, finding Jack Mariska. On the ground, Tarrant fighting for that one. Over with Persinger. Slap shot. Just left of that net, wide left of the Finley Hegarty net. Out in front of the net, Darien defense making a big stop. Schwind going over there with Tarrant on the defensive side. As puck will go out of play, referees blow the whistle.
You know, it's a lot of puck chasing from both teams right now. You know, these forechecks and breakouts have been, you know, kind of offsetting each other, if you will, because a lot of these breakout passes from the Wave and Westhill Stamford have been made late, which traps them in their own end. And, you know, that's why we're kind of playing a game where there's not a lot of sustained offense.
So face-off won by Stamford. Getting close by Darien with possession. McNamara handing that one over to Wadley. Wadley dumping that in all the way. Darien making a line change. That puck again, once again dumped. Schwind and Mariska out there as well. That puck over to Mariska. Intercepted there by Christopher Berlingo.
Yeah, the D got caught sitting back there. Nobody was up on the blue line, so the puck escapes the zone as a result.
So moving that puck along, Dylan Weibel hustling for it over on the boards. Fight for that one is the Blue Wave. Stanford's just trying to clear it in the ordeal. Puck out over. Dumping that one in for Tim Davis. A little miscommunication read on the pass, so Darien will be setting up back on defense. Short pass out, Tim Davis. Back out over to Connor Kilroy, moving that puck around.
Yeah, I really like how Connor Kilroy's playing this period. You know, he's single-handedly getting these rushes up the ice for the Wave, and, you know, he's starting his own forecheck there even with, you know, after breaking a stick, he's using a completely new stick, which is very hard. So, really like the effort from Kilroy this period.
No, this team, both these teams just under 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this third period of play. Still a 1-goal differential, so anything is possible for this Stamford team, but for them, their offense definitely has to prevail and try to break down Darien defense like they did in that second period. Persinger on the shot, he goes down. Darien setting up after the hard hit. Stamford player goes down, loose glove out on there. Referees had a hand up, looks like delayed penalty will be coming up. Getting set up, Darien close by. Shot there, really close, trying to put the finishing touch on it. And no call will be given, no goal. Elliot Lancaster so close to putting that one in, but the bedrock right there will be stopped up.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a debatable call. It looks like his glove is over the goal line. If we're able to look at that instant replay right here, you know, when Lancaster makes this rebound opportunity, it looks like his glove is in fact extended over that goal line. So the ref will call that off, but you know, in all likeliness, that probably was a Darien goal.
Very close there from senior captain Elliot Lancaster, but a nice glove save from the Westhill Stamford goaltender. Shot there, almost a glove save. That was Mariska on the high shot. Trying to reset is Darien, moving the puck along, and scooping that one up is Margaret. But again, Lancaster's had, you know, a good amount of opportunities in this game. That one right there had a wide open net, but again, Margaret showing that glove save is really working for him today and keeping this game at bay.
Yeah, Margaret is really the reason that Westhill Stamford remains in this game to this point. You know, he's just done all he could today, really just making some acrobatic saves, you know, with almost seemingly at some points no help from his defense.
So puck going loose on the boards. Shot over there, looking for it is Samame. Samame fighting for that one at about mid-ice, giving it over to Darien defense John Wadley. Darien fighting for it. Niffen over in the neutral zone. Darien trying to get possession, but referees will blow the whistle on that one. Getting a little physical there is Stamford. Gloves thrown, but Schwinn having some words over there, but referees will call off any talk or from any different players.
Yeah, and it almost seems like, you know, regardless of the physical play here, Stamford Westhill is just kind of waiting for Darien to make another mistake, as they're not creating any offense on their own. And, you know, all of their offense this game have been odd man rushes. So, you know, Stamford Westhill just with Darien not making many mistakes this period, they've been limited on offense.
So Persinger dumping that one all the way through. That one will be called an icing. Of course, I want to give a quick shout out to our DAF Media crew, bringing you all the sights and sounds in this game. Dalton Moss, Thomas Ponte, Kenny Aranakigi, Thomas Cavallo, and of course, Katie Savino. Will, great to have you on the call today. A very exciting game from Terry Connors ice rink. Only a 1-goal differential, 2:46 left to go in the third period of play.
I mean, if I don't see that Charlie Schwinn goal on SportsCenter tomorrow morning, you know, that's definitely a highway robbery there. I'll tell you that much.
And there's the video proof to prove it here on DAF Media, but nevertheless, Darien winning the face-off, getting close by. Stamford trying to get a shot on it. That one goes high and out of play, so Stamford had a look at it. Hegarty was ready for that one, but that one just sails way out into the mesh netting.
Yeah, it feels like Darien's been playing keep away almost this period, just burning time off the clock. You know, this is one of Stamford Westhill's first sustained possessions this period, and, you know, it's going to be crucial for them in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds here to just fire away at Hegarty and see what kind of chaos they can cause in front of the net. Hopefully some rebounds for them.
So face-off won by the Blue Wave. Again, like you said, just trying to play keep away with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Try not to give Stamford any more mistakes for them to capitalize on. Mariska hustling around. Referees blow the whistle. Looks like offside call going to be called against Charlie Schwind.
You know, and we do have to give credit where it's due. Coming into this game, Stamford Westhill was not expected to be at a 1-goal differential right now, where we stand 3-2. You know, they've worked their butts off today in this game, and, you know, definitely deserve some credit for the, you know, goals they have capitalized on. But as we stand, you know, the Wave are still leading this game.
Yeah, so just over 2 minutes left to go. Still plenty of time here from Terry Connors. Mariska and Schwind over on the left side. Stamford just dumping in for the pass. Trying to find some open lane. Darien defense not letting up one bit. And Schwind putting that one in the air, giving that over to Ryan Thurlow. Thurlow with some open sides. Referees blow the whistle. That one may be another offside call against Darien.
Yeah, and Stamford Westhill, I mean, we can see it from our vantage point. They're looking for a timeout, I believe, or just try to draw up a play and pull that goalie soon. Maybe a set play with 6 man on the ice. So
yeah, a minute and 40 seconds. Definitely Stamford Westhill bench going to be thinking about pulling the goalie. We'll see what happened here. Face-off won by Lancaster. Lancaster's going on in.
You know, and Stamford Westhill needs one, so with that 6 man, you're going to expect a ton of screens in front, as that's really the only way you can score on Finley Hegarty, one of the best in the FCX. So
again, getting close to that 1 minute mark, but Darien still holding strong on the defense. Like you said, playing keep away from this Stamford team, not trying to give them any opportunities or loose pucks. Lancaster, big hit over on the side. Moving that puck in is Thurlow. Thurlow over on the side. Darien just trying to keep the puck in Stamford's zone. Darien with the quick line change. Stamford with the puck, guarding it over on their territory.
The goalie is inching out of his crease now.
Big look time shot, just left of the net.
Goalie is
miscommunication there. Goalie getting very close. Stamford trying to get that extra man on.
Yeah, almost, like you said, miscommunication. Almost too many men on the ice there.
Yeah. So 6-on-5 coming up. Empty net over on the far right side. And for Westhill, all they need is one good shot. Keeping it in the zone, Stamford. Looking for a heavy hit over on the far side by Wadley. Schwind keeping the puck in the Darien side. Trying to break it up is Mariska. Schwind over on the empty side. Pass it over to Mariska. Mariska and Schwind, the one-timer, will put Darien up 4-2 and give them that 2-goal lead.
And what do you know, folks? Another multi-point game for Charlie Schwind. He really was the story of today's game. You know, the Wave go down 2-1, and Charlie Schwind is right there to pick up the slack with the Michigan goal. And then, of course, creates more offense. You know, that empty netter right there with Jack Mariska, it was really their line that carried them to this win today. And, you know, a very solid performance from Finley Hegarty in net today as well. He didn't have a ton of, you know, some of the chances, you know, he was left out to dry. So,
well, I think this game definitely good retrospect for the Blue Wave. I mean, 4-2 against a Stamford team, and then you come Saturday against one of the perennial state powerhouses of the Notre Dame West Haven Green Knights. So definitely some things that the Blue Wave need to work on in practice, but today Wave puck shined here from Terry Connor's Ice House. That will do it here from DAF Media Network. I want to give a quick shout out to our DAF Media crew, bring you all the sights and sounds in this one. Dalton Moss, Thomas Ponte, Kenny Aranatagi, Thomas Cavallo, and Katie Savino. Will, great to have you on the call tonight for the doubleheader between girls. Lost to SWSers the first game, but Blue Wave pick up the win against Stamford Westhill. So I've been Liam Tomaszewski, watching this game on the DAF Media Network. We'll see you next time.